Hey, it's Cal Forever here, little Cal Paws, and I just want to say, ooh, look at these freaking mushrooms, they're so cool. I just want to say, it ain't that easy being an open person out into the public, and being an open person, and being a vulnerable person, to show people the way, to be honest, and to be a real authentic person, you know and one of the greatest fears that people have about being an authentic person in today's world is a fear of being alienated. If you're honest and go against the norm, and you go and you be yourself, and don't follow the crowd, usually either someone in the crowd or the crowd in general tries to steer you back into their way and their ideas. And then on top of that, when you make yourself vulnerable, a lot of people project their judgments onto you of their shadow, and oftentimes how they were treated in their past, or how they reacted to someone else that was treated in the past that they had witnessed or experienced. And when people are projecting that shadow, it paints a false picture of the person they're looking at and the person they're listening to. And so, I totally understand, like, people that have a hard time being themselves, even on Facebook, to receive judgment and just, pain infliction from other people. I'm an empath. I'm a Heyoka empath, which is a very, very strong empath. I'm a very strong emotional person. I'm like the complete opposite of like ego. Like, and this is another ego in and of itself, is I have such a difficult time. Well, it's not that I really have a difficult time. It's just I feel the emotions of the collective and the people around me, that I feel that more than I feel, the emotions from my reference point in this form. And so when I experience other people's emotions, I just see that as my other self. I don't really see that as, someone. Well, I mean, I see separate shapes and form. It's like this separate connectedness. But when I feel it, I'm learning to discern what other people's emotions are from my own, that come from my reference point. And it's kind of difficult, and it takes time. And so I think being vulnerable and having an open heart, and not closing your heart off from people that are, lashing out at you, or, venting to you or whatever. And I think it's important to vent and to be honest. There's one way of venting, and there's another way of that is just lashing out. And sometimes people lash in at themselves, and I've gone through a lot, I went like through 2 years of like ego death, and I didn't really know what it was, and I was experiencing it through the people around me. And just like, I was overworked, going to school full time. And then, like, when I get home from work, it was like, I drink to try to feel better. And really, it wasn't even my desire to drink. It was other people around me that I had empathed and had the energy pollution, but it was there to serve me as well. It was there to serve me. And, I don't play really victim to it necessarily. It's just not hard, or it's just not easy sometimes, and it's not necessarily hard either, right? But being a raw, realistic person is something you just got to do. That's why it's not really hard. It's just you just got to do it regardless, right? If that's what you want to do. Sometimes people don't want to be real, because then they have to face the parts of themselves and be real about their own bullshit, and something that I think a lot of people project their bullshit onto other people to be able to see their own bullshit, and then in turn distract themselves sometimes. But they're trying to get themselves to see something about themselves, whatever it is. Might not be really directly what they're projecting onto someone, but within that, some sort of judgment about themselves is in that they're projecting onto the other person. And so I hope this helps, people that may be in that judgment through projecting their shadow onto people. I hope this helps you. And I also hope that, it helps people who are afraid of being vulnerable to just do it anyways. And it takes a little bit of time. Be kind to yourself and love yourself. And I think by loving the people around you, regardless, right? And just embrace everything. And once you kind of take that leap of faith, it's like you get this forward moving momentum. It's like you open the door, right? It's like you crack the door open a little bit to the divine, and then the divine comes in, and you start to see it, and you're like, whoa, this is really real. I'm starting to see things for how they really are in relationships, in spirituality, and the truth of things, and shining that divine light onto things of consciousness, of awareness. Consciousness is love, and we need to increase our consciousness, and be more conscious in our daily lives. And how you do that is you just by be more loving. Just be more loving to yourself. Start there. Something I did was look at myself in the mirror every morning. I'd jump out of bed like a kid, because I remember running around the house when I was a kid, and I'd run to the bathroom. I'd look at myself in the mirror and say, I love you. Excuse me. I love you. And just like I really meant it. And that turned my vision inwards 180 degrees. And I saw things from more of a real perspective. I felt like from myself instead of myself in the world around me. And it helped balance that out, the inner and the outer. And life's amazing. It's difficult. Some people, maybe the reason why they make a shadow is because they want to experience the good things in life, and then later on in their life they decide to deal with the shadow to experience life, or do life to a fuller extent. Man, look at this moss. Isn't that so cool? All right, I think that's poison ivy. Look at that tree in the distance too. Just the energy is just awesome. That's so bright. Cal Forever here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being respectful and encouraging and loving, and respectful, encouraging and loving to yourself, towards your other self. En Lakesh Alakin. That is Maya for you are me and I am another you. So thanks for being here and listening, and I love you, and I honor and I respect you. You mean a lot to me. And even in your darkest moments of projecting shadow on me, it makes me stronger. It tears apart my energy and builds it up stronger, like lifting weights and doing micro tears on your muscle. It's like I'm lifting energetic weights by the perceived, crucifixion of other people in a way. It's like people crucify you with their emotions and their energy and their projections, but that's what serves you and helps you grow. And so I hope this helps.